All right, let's have a look at the Silky Big Boy Bushmaster, which is this one here. And I did a video on the Gomboy, on this one here for the backpack. You can feel the difference in weight. I mean, this is obviously way bigger. Now let's understand something. This is the 2000, and with the Bushmaster series, which is this one, because the handle is made out of wood and plastic, and the blade is a bit thicker, it will cost you a little bit more for this saw. And it's quite a beast, as you can see. Now, I bought this to go in my truck. It's not to go in my backpack. Without the case, it's like a pound and 3 ounces or something. Pound and 1 ounce. And then with the case, it's like a pound and 4 ounces. It's a pretty heavy duty saw. And, you know, it goes up once, and then it goes up twice so you can cut under, like I explained in the other video. But these particular saws always cut on the pull. They don't cut on the push. So you have to understand that. So the more blades you have, the more cut you're going to get. So I bought this to go right in my truck, and that's where this is going. A lot of times, I'll come, like tonight even. I was coming back from Walmart tonight, and there was a tree across the road. It wasn't very big. I was able to grab it with my hands and pull it off to the side. I didn't even have to use the saw and drive home. And that's what I got it for. I carry a chainsaw in the back of my truck, and a lot of times chainsaws don't start when you want them to start. It's just the way it is. Gas goes bad, didn't lubricate it right, didn't have enough oil in the chain. I mean, you can just go on and on with chainsaws. There are so many things that can break. I'm hoping to remove the chainsaw and just carry this, because there's less to break down, and just grab it, go and cut. Now this will cut a log that big, maybe even a little bit bigger if you want to get fancy with it. The Gomboy, which is this one, which I picked up to go in my backpack, and I figured that's all I need. Compared to this one, it weighs a pound. You can definitely feel the weight with this thing. You want to see the difference in the blade. There it is there. It's quite a big difference. I mean, you're looking at, I don't know, good 6 or 8 inches longer is what you're looking at. So, but you got to understand with the Big Boy, this one here is tricky. I'll have a link to it in the bottom, but you got to be careful with buying this Big Boy. Okay? You can buy this. Be very careful not to cut yourself. You can buy this cheaper in different colors, like orange, yellow. The handles are different. And the reason it's cheaper, and they're around 70 bucks, the blade is thinner, and the material in the handle is cheaper, if you consider plastic cheaper. But they are cheaper, and it's the same saw, it's just the blade's thinner. So I went for this one, for the Bushmaster, the Outback version, because the blade is thicker. That's the only reason I went for the Outback. Now, this thing fluctuates so much on Amazon in price, it's unbelievable. I've seen it go from 101 down to 83 and go up and down in between that. So, if you're thinking about buying this big saw, I would add it to your cart, but then I'd keep an eye on it. Check it every 2 or 3 hours. When you see it get down pretty close to 83, you're not going to go any lower than that. Then hit it and buy it if you want this saw that bad. But anybody that's a backpacker should go for the Gomboy. Anybody that's really looking at this Big Boy, I mean, that's a lot of weight. That's over a pound. The only type of people I could see carrying this, and if they are carrying this, they're carrying this. They're carrying both. are people that maintain the trails, people that maintain, the Appalachian Trail and all the other trails in between. Because this is, if I was maintaining a trail, this would be the saw I would keep in my backpack. And you take that 1 pound hit. I mean, but they're not, out there camping full out. They're out there hiking, maintaining trails. They're trying to make their job as easy as possible. Then I would actually go with this Silky Big Boy Outback 2000 is what I would look at. Now, if you're thinking, well, I'm going to really process some, I don't know. I'm just telling you, it's not something I would put in my backpack. It's a really big saw. I mean, if I was going out to set up a campsite and a bunch of guys were coming out and we were getting a campsite ready and I wanted to make some chairs, some tables, then I would take the big one. But I wouldn't be taking the big one just to go out and do regular camping. I really wouldn't. This is actually going to go in the bag. It's going to go in my truck. It's going to live there. And then when I actually need this, then it'll be there when I need it. I should have had some type of saw like this a long time ago in my truck. It's just one of those things I kept overlooking. And you'll notice the difference between this big boy compared to this gom boy. You'll notice there's holes here. Okay? There are no holes on this one, on the gom boy. And I even said in my last video, I might put this on one of my tools and grind some lines into it, and I haven't done it yet to give it more grip. A big difference with this big boy is you can do it with one hand. It does feel awkward. It doesn't feel like I'm in control. When I put both hands on this thing and I put it down, then it feels like I got, kind of looks like a samurai sword, eh? But I feel like I have more control when I got two hands on it compared to one. One would be, I'd cut very, very careful with this if I was on one. And there's two levels, up and down, just like the other one. Nothing changes except for the handle having holes drilled into it, where the gom boy doesn't. And everything else looks identical, other than the actual saw being, being way bigger is what the difference is. Now, I got mine, I think I hit mine for 85. And if I would have waited a little longer, I could have got it for 83. So like I said, when you put this thing in your cart, it fluctuates so much in price, it's unbelievable. And it's because there are so many different companies on Amazon. Amazon shipped it because I looked for that. It's coming from an Amazon warehouse. But from what I could see, there was about 8 different businesses connected to this saw. And all of a sudden, you could get one day when all of a sudden they just dropped the price because they're trying to move their inventory and get rid of it. And it's not like they're carrying, 200 of these. It's not like they order 200 from Silky. I think they're only ordering 5, 10 from Silky, and then they put them in their stores, and if they don't sell, then they start dropping the price on them. Is what I think is going on. But the lowest I've seen this go for, this 2000, is around 83 bucks. But if you buy the one where the blade's a little thinner and the handle's a different color, you're looking at maybe $75. So you would save a little bit more on this. But I like the idea that the blade was a little bit more beefed up and probably less chance of breaking when I use it. I don't like things breaking when I get stuck. But the Silky Big Boy 2000 Outback is going to go into my truck. It's going to live there. If I ever do prep a trail or I'm setting up a trail for a bunch of my friends to come out to, then I would probably definitely throw out my pack and go. But it does weigh over a pound compared to this one being a whole lot lighter. And like some people said in my comment section from different countries like Canada, Netherlands, Switzerland, these are pretty expensive in these other countries. And a lot of people are iffy about dropping their money on it because it is expensive in those other countries. I'm going to tell you right now, when I pass these things through wood, and I'm sure you heard other videos say it, it's like passing a hot knife through butter, the way these things cut. I was so impressed. I bought 2. No, they didn't give it to me. I bought them with my own money. And I was just so amazed how easy it was. and how little effort I had to do compared to my Baco saw, which was, I think, 4 ounces lighter. And I have a video with this one, I'll link it up. But, 8, 10 times with the Baco saw compared to one pull with this one. I mean, the ease was unbelievable. And that's the amazing part. And obviously, the bigger your wood gets, the more work it's going to take to actually get through it. But when I'm camping with my backpack, the only thing I'm cutting mainly is firewood. I may make the odd little thing for bushcrafting, but mainly it's for firewood. If I'm going to put up, a fairly large amount. And like I said, this particular saw of the Silky Big Boy 2000 Outback, this is to go in my truck. And this is in case things blow down in front of me. Now, does everybody need one of these? Probably not. I mean, I live in an area in Tennessee where we get quite a few tornadoes. And we get high wind. Right now it's tornado season. We get a horrible amount of wind that goes on. I mean, you literally know when the storms are coming in. You better lock down your yard. It is nothing to see those trampolines that people jump up and down all down the roads and other people's houses. Nobody cranks them down. And things fly all over the place. I found a neighbor's dog food dish from 6 houses down in my backyard. I started going door to door and knocking on doors. Is this your bowl? But for cleaning debris and getting a mess cleaned up and not having to carry gas and not having to rely on that thing starting all the time, I think this was the best choice for inside my vehicle. The other thing is, if I get stuck in my truck, I do have ramps that'll go underneath and shovels and everything else and a winch to get me unstuck. But if I need something more, I can actually pull this out and go cut some trees down or some dead trees and bring them back and put them underneath my tires. So this thing's going to come in handy more than once, at least for me. It may not for you. So I may buy a bigger saw from Silky, not right now, maybe a year. I don't know. I've been looking at their $300 ones and still haven't pulled the trigger on one of those big ones. But the Silky Big Boy 2000 Outback, that's an impressive saw. It really is. But the Gomboy, and I have a video to where I did a video on that, is my saw for backpacking. Catch you guys on the next one.